A question a lot of people had over the past couple of months: will your lights stay on? It's a question many Duke Energy customers had following those two events in December that left hundreds of thousands of people in the dark.
WRAL Investigates Cullen Browder takes us inside the power grid to examine what happened and how to stop it from happening again.
December was a tough month for Duke Energy and its North Carolina customers. On the 3rd, someone shot up substations in Moore County, cutting power to about 45,000 homes and businesses for days. Then 3 weeks later, on Christmas Eve, temperatures dipped to around 10 degrees. With concerns about demand outpacing generation, Duke instituted rolling blackouts, leaving more than 500 million customers in the cold. Both cases raise serious questions about our power grid reliability and resiliency.
They're vulnerable to weather. They're vulnerable to other contingencies, cyber and physical.
Should all those incidents send serious alarms?
I certainly think so.
First, the power station attack, then not enough electricity to serve customers.
There are places where we can absolutely improve.
Duke Energy spokesman Jeff Brooks acknowledges the utility fell short in communicating realistic customer expectations during the blackouts and fully anticipating the combination of extreme cold and equipment failures.
We're going to go back and look at those forecast models and that modeling technology.
The electric utility grid is one of the most amazing inventions in the history of man, but the game is changing, and we're going
Steve Calland, executive director of NC State's Clean Energy Technology Center, says that means spreading the power load to more renewables like wind and solar.
The renewables facilities and the solar facilities in particular were not the problem. Those operated exactly as advertised.
Equipment failures reduced output at gas and coal-fired plants. Brooks agrees that solar performed well, but not before the sun came up Christmas Eve. So storage is a huge issue right now.
Storage is a huge opportunity for the company.
WRAL Investigates analyzed data Duke supplied to the Department of Energy that shows demand, forecast demand, and power generation. Despite reporting plant issues and lost power purchases between midnight and 6 a.m. on Christmas Eve, numbers show power generation hit a daily high at 8 a.m., still well above the demand. Over the next several hours, demand dropped because of those rolling blackouts, but so did generation, dropping by about 30% by 4 in the afternoon. As for the length of the power shutdown for some customers, Brooks says the automated blackout system failed.
That's why you saw some of the outages extend later into the day, was that process of restoring power manually.
Critics argue the failures of Christmas Eve show Duke needs to join a regional transmission market to share planning and power.
The data shows from other states that have joined regional transmission organizations that it does in fact make your grid in your state more reliable.
As former chair of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, grid policy expert Jon Wellinghoff argues Duke must spread its load generation.
More resources, wider spread with more contingencies so that these large central plants aren't the Achilles heel of our entire system.
Duke believes fossil fuel options are still necessary as a bridge to a cleaner energy future, and the utility resists calls to partner with other power producers. It almost sounds like you're trying to hang on to your monopoly. Is that the case?
Well, the key difference is, number one, we're a regulated utility. We think we have a good, effective model here in the Carolinas. Do we have opportunities to improve? Absolutely.
And that's a process. State lawmakers are considering legislation that would require 24/7 surveillance at substations like this. And Duke is asking for a rate hike it contends will address both security and reliability. Cullen Browder, WRAL News, Raleigh.